It's just occurred to me we really haven't had a completely successful test of this equipment.
I blame myself.
So do I.
Well, no sense worrying about it now.
Why worry? Each of us is wearing an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on his back.
Yeah. Let's get ready. Switch me on. I don't think you're crazy.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
What's up, Ghostheads? Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Oh, that video is fire. If you're in the chat right now, I want you to make some noise. Hashtag Ghostbusters Toy Drive 2022. We're 2 weeks in. We got a lot of great things to talk about. We're also going to be getting to some Ghostbuster news later on in the show. And we have some wonderful chapters that are going to be joining us and talking about their events over the last 2 weeks. Their toy drives, their fundraisers, their food drives, and all the good that they're doing in their community. I see Kevin in the chat saying, "What's up, guys? What's up, Kevin?" We got some stuff to mention about Kevin as well. Not Robinson Fernandez, some noise, he says. What's going on, guys? My name is Ted, aka Steady. I'm just so pumped, as you can see, in my suit, wearing my Santa hat. With me, as always, my partner in crime, the one and only Matty B.
And this is a special crack of the Miller Lite. I don't know if you guys noticed the amplification we had in our production level, bringing everybody into this beautiful stream. And that is courtesy of our friend and fellow Geekcaster, Joe Garcia. So if you're in the San Antonio area and you need something like that for your business or your creative project or whatever, hit up Joe Garcia or us and we'll send you his info.
Absolutely, for sure. Joe Garcia, who's in the chat saying, "What's up, fellas?" Absolutely. Christopher Robinson saying, "Rocking that sweet hat." Is he talking about me or you? We both got sweet hats on. Gunnar Barker, hello, boys. And Joe says, "Appreciate the shout out, Matty B." We appreciate you, sir. We appreciate you and everything you do. Alex Spence, the legendary Alex, is in the chat saying, "Woo. Howdy." What's going on, brother? Once again, we have a ton of stuff to talk about. It is the Ghostbusters Toy Drive. And if you're with us now, stay with us because we will provide an update on how many toys and how many dollars us as a campaign have collected in 2 weeks. We still got one more week to go, but don't leave anywhere. Stay tuned. We have a guest in the wings, and I also have to make sure I talk about two things that are still happening with some of our groups. First of which is a fundraising event by the Lansing, Michigan team tomorrow, December 15th, 4 to 8 p.m. In Okemos, hope I'm saying that right, Michigan. And 25% of all jump admissions will be donated. 25%. That's huge. That's fantastic. And it's going to be also canned food drop offs would be appreciated. Going to the Greater Lansing Food Bank. And shout out to the Lansing team who worked extremely hard to put something together for this this whole campaign. Shout out to Kevin and team. And if you are not in the Lansing, Michigan area, that doesn't matter. Go to their page and share their event. We need to get as many eyes on it as possible. If you're around the Michigan area, send the flyer to the colleges in that area, the libraries, the Chamber of Commerce, the City Hall, the mayor, the radio stations. We need to support all of these groups absolutely as much as possible. And I also have one more item to kind of bring up with regards to another chapter right before we get to our guests here. The Long Island Ghostbusters are still holding their HasLab Proton Pack and Wand charity event. You donate, you have a chance to win a HasLab Proton Pack and Wand. You didn't buy into it to the fundraising or the crowd fund. It's okay. You still have an opportunity. Go to the Long Island Ghostbusters page, find out how you can donate, and 100% are going to charity. DM the team if you need to for details. If you have a friend who says, "Man, I wish I had a proton pack," well, this is one way they can do it. And if they don't get it, then they're still helping out a good cause. Enter to win the HasLab Proton Pack and Wand. Again, support each other's chapters. If you have events, send us your flyers. We're going to share them. I'm hashtagging all the cities that these are taking place in and all that good stuff. Okay, we're going to have an update for everybody, so don't go anywhere. But first, we have Dan from the Buffalo Ghostbusters who's been waiting, so we're going to bring him on right now. Dan, are you with us? Oh, no. We don't hear you just yet. Oh, wait, there's something there.
Oh, come on.
There it goes. There it goes.
Come-
Keep
There we
keep
go.
keep messing with it. I think that's it. Do you hear us, Dan?
I can hear you.
Awesome. You know what? Just take the headset, unplug it, and plug it back in real quick, just real fast. We'll just reset that bad boy.
We've all had to do some
Are we,
troubleshooting.
is that working?
That's working. That's working
Hey.
so far.
All right.
I think that
That's
did it. Dan, how you doing tonight, Dan?
Good, man.
Ooh, there's a
Yeah.
little bit of a delay again, but we're gonna power through it. So there's like a slight delay, but we're gonna power through it. No worries, no worries. Daniel Steven from the Buffalo Ghostbusters. Welcome. Appreciate you joining us on short notice. But you guys had a fantastic toy drive event. Well over a few hundred toys. You guys were at the comics, Kingpin Comics and Gaming venue. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about why you guys chose that location, the organization, the charity that you guys supported, and then we'll just go from there, man. Let us know.
For sure. What we do is yearly donations from patch sales, and we always do a team goes, and we buy as many toys. We partner with our local Five Below. They set aside a register because we always are the register with how much takes it slows down and it's trying to process the whole. So we did that last and that we did $100 toys, and then 2 drop site partners for that program. We actually go around and find new partners reuse partners, but we like to rotate areas in Buffalo and places that we can help promote. So Kingpin Business, newer comic shop, we wanted to help them out, drive some, so helping people to drop some toys. And 1811 Comics, we've actually been good friends with since they opened. We actually grand opening event as a franchise celebrate, which that was 8 years ago. So great to partner with as well.
Well, it's awesome to hear that because we are big fans here on Ghostheads Radio and the Geekcast overall of supporting your local comic book shops. We encourage everybody to do that. So that's one of the best. That's one of the best stories we could hear. Hey, you were at the grand opening and you're helping them run some business in there because every mom is thinking about getting comics on Christmas. They're thinking about some other things, but great stocking stuffers, great gifts overall. There's some expensive ones, there's some cheap ones, but we got to keep those places in business. So we appreciate that.
Totally.
Real quick before I forget, because I'm going to forget later, I was talking about Kevin Quinn's chapter earlier, and I forgot to mention during his food drive, the whole team's going to be on the news tomorrow. So Fox 47, if you're in the Michigan area, check out Kevin and team on TV. He's going to be rocking his new slime blower Proton crossover pack. So check that out. It's going to be awesome. Shout out to Kevin and the Lansing team doing a fantastic job. So Dan, you guys had a great turnout and a great showing at these places or events. Talk to us about what this kind of did for the team. I don't know if you guys are doing charity events like this every winter or around every Christmas and all, but what does it do to a team like that to kind of see all the progress and everything you guys accomplished?
I think it's safe to say the favorite time of year. Of everything that we've done all year, especially in its own right. We all love suiting up together. We're all friends. It's always, but it's a very special time to see the results of and all of the money that we're going to turn that into, and how many are going to get toys based on to do this year.
Absolutely. I saw the photos. I saw some of the videos that you guys were posting. It looks absolutely incredible. You got a great looking team. Have you guys already talked about what you guys might try and do for next year? Are you guys already kind of like fired up to kind of set a higher goal or try some new things that might kind of work out differently? What have you guys talked about so far?
Definitely. So, I mean, one our big Comic Con hasn't happened for the last COVID, but that's coming back. Talking to them about, we might be able to also obviously try some Ghostbusters related, trying to figure out themes to the booth, adding actually, if anybody hear you, they have an amazing. We grabbed 2 of them last night, and it's like a great connection. Has great sound. Goes for the booth. That's going to be a great addition.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very excited to keep going more.
Absolutely. Where do you want people to go and find you guys? Is the Facebook page the best place to go, or any events that you guys have coming up kind of in the near future? Where can people find the Buffalo team next?
Best. We're also on it, but Facebook is definitely the best. To that is just BuffaloGhostbusters.com to our Facebook.
BuffaloGhostbusters.com. That'll take you directly to their Facebook. So definitely go check out the Buffalo Ghostbusters. And we really appreciate you coming on and sharing all of that. Glad for you to join, Keep sharing the links as we go. We're going to be giving updates, so make sure to send those over to us as well. We can't wait to see what you guys finish up with.
Guys, yeah, thanks for having me. And Maddie, it's military.
Damn right.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Dan. I know it's you're on the East Coast, so we'll get you out of here and say thanks to the team again for all your hard work. Congratulations. You guys deserve all the appreciation, and we can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Appreciate you. Have a great night, man.
You too.
Daniel Steven, Buffalo Ghostbuster team.
How
Awesome.
cool is that? New York is
Hey.
heavy on groups. We've been talking to I feel New York a lot recently. I hope that keeps being a trend with certain states, and hopefully, as we get one group on in a state and they share things, most of them are connected to a point. So hopefully it spider webs and cracks out like that, so we can really increase the amount of groups that we have participating in things like this. It's awesome. And again, another comic book story. We love that.
That is a plan. That is a plan. We have a few more teams that are going to be joining us shortly if things play out well, but we want to provide an update. So I'm also hoping that we get a few more eyeballs in here. Sacramento team, what's up, Sacramento? They're saying hello. Hello to y'all. So let's get a few more eyes in here, and then we're going to get a drum roll, and we're going to give a total. So, Maddie, I know you and I we talked earlier, and last week when I did this with other teams, I said, you know what, if we stopped last week, I would have been happy with sort of the turnout so far, but I am extremely happy with what we've done 2 weeks in, and I feel like we can even make kind of a harder big push for this final week and hit some lofty, not lofty goals, but hit some kind of big numbers at play. So I'm gonna wait. Let's get a few more eyeballs in here. It's a
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Toy Drive Week 2 totals. If you're in
Yeah.
the chat, I know you guys are excited. Sacramento says, "Let's keep it going." Good work, everyone. Absolutely. Rick Kane's in the chat saying, "Hey, sorry I didn't come when the stream started." Oh, you're all good. You're all good. He was making more goal horns. You have to. You have to. Awesome. All right. I think we're ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ghost Heads, chapters all over the country. We have one more week left, but as of week 2, our totals for toys so far is 4,409 toys. Massive number. Massive number. That's
Cheers to that.
fantastic. It's a huge smile on my face. All
Mhm.
right. And dollars. It's not just about the toys, but it's also about the dollars because there's some teams that are actually raising money to buy toys or money for organizations. So that number, dollar total through 2 weeks, $8,937. Congrats, everybody. Congrats. Let's see here.
How
Let me put
awesome
this in
is
here.
that?
What does that make you feel, Maddie?
It makes me feel good. I would assume that we can get over 10K in cash. I think that's a reasonable goal. Sitting at $8,900. I'm a salesman. I start with very lofty goals, and I'm really really happy with where we landed. If we did half of that number, I would still be very happy. This is a lot of difference we're making. But hey, when you look at these numbers, Ted, there's a lot of
Fantastic.
kids, there's a lot of kids being a lot happier. This is exactly what we set out to do. Because I'm a competitive person, I would like to know what they did last year. But
There was only like a dozen teams last year, so I don't think that's fair.
yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We did what we set out to do. And I'm very proud of every team that's been out there braving the cold. I
Yeah.
have to be honest, I haven't been able to get out. I'm moving right now. This is one of the last things I haven't packed up yet is the studio. But I appreciate everybody on the team and everybody who's been a part of going out there on the SATX side. I know We've really been making a push too. So everybody working so hard. It's just good to see. It's just awesome. It's cool this time of year.
Absolutely. No, listen, bravo to everybody. And then there's at least half the chapters, if not a few more than that, are still collecting for this final week. So continue, get out there, create flyers, create events on your social media pages. I mean, listen, the station. I mean, we saw Kevin Quinn and the Lansing team. They're going to be on the news, television, like
But there
that
was
is.
nothing going on 2 weeks ago, right?
No, they they
Right.
they put this all together. They've been working hard for months trying to figure something out, and now, Kevin, you're gonna be on the news, brother. You're gonna be on
Yes.
TV. You're
See how
packed.
that works. All I
You're
got to do is
slime
reach out.
blower.
And I want more chapters to be encouraged to do this because, again, we talk about competition sometimes and we talk about it a little bit. Check out the Extraplasm podcast with Ghostheads Radio. Um, it's his most recent episode. I think he's going to upload one here probably Sunday or Monday, but it's his most recent episode. And we talk a lot about the competition between groups. And this is very, very important. We have to get rid of that. And it's okay to reach out to people with resources like we do and ask for a little bit of guidance or maybe even just a little bit of the confidence it takes to take that step forward and make stuff happen or push that ball over the cliff finally. Maybe it's been sitting there for a minute and it just needed a little bit of a push. So let's keep encouraging that. And if you guys see another group that, is reaching out to, reach back out to them. Keep
Absolutely.
doing that. Keep the collaboration effort together because, as you can see, we can be very powerful as a group.
Absolutely. No, there's nothing this group of chapters, this coalition can't do. And everybody that we've talked to since we've started Ghostheads Radio has been so passionate, so enthusiastic about the charity aspect of why we wear these flight suits that it just goes to show exactly what can be accomplished when we all put um, our passion and behind a single effort. And listen, this wasn't easy for a lot of teams. I mean, we're talking about, like you mentioned, the temperature in some areas has been really low. We have I'm not trying to call anybody out. We had folks that were dealing with like illness, pneumonia, the flu, like so many people had stuff going on in their own personal lives, and it's just, they still went out there and worked as a team and did their best. And we're not done yet. We're not done. We're kind of talking like we're done, but we're not done yet. We still got a week. We still got a week. And I think there's still a bunch that folks can do to help each other out. If your team is already done, I have an idea. I'll bring it up in a second. If your team's already done collecting, it doesn't mean you can't help out another team. Go find another team, share their flyers, hashtag the city they live in, um, go
Find
on Twitter,
donation links,
share the donation links,
because
go
nobody has to
go
show up where you are.
go on Twitter and find the radio stations in that community. The Station 580 team, seriously, I don't know how they pull this off all the time, but they have radio slots. They have radio slots, and like they're all over the radio. They're getting like the word out using the radio station. And what radio station wouldn't want to, get behind this type of effort? So yeah, for sure. Teams, keep doing a great job. All you guys are incredible, and yeah, we love seeing this. Can't wait to see where we end up. If we finish with 5,000 toys and $10,000, like how incredible would that be? And that's money that wasn't going to be there before. Those are toys that weren't going to be there before for a lot of people. Like a lot of these teams, this was their first time. This is their first time getting behind something like this, and so it's absolutely incredible. Daniel says, "Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you, Dan. Keep killing it out there with the Buffalo team. You guys are awesome. Let us know exactly what you guys got going on." Paxton's in the chat. Pac-Man, South Dakota. What's going on? Kevin says, "Show the video." Yeah, I'm gonna try and find that one. Give me a second. See if I can find that. And says, Paxton says, "Yes, We are under the same franchise. We are all Ghostbusters. Rudy's in the chat. What's going on, Rudy? Good to see you, brother. Awesome. Maddie, any you know what? I have one last thing. One last thing about the toy drive. And we can still keep continuing, but I don't want to forget this one point. If you have a team and your toy drives or your food drives or your fundraisers have ceased, like you guys are done collecting, it it doesn't take a lot of effort and it doesn't take a lot of suiting up or volunteering or driving anywhere if you sign up for the Starlight organization Ghostbuster fundraiser. The Los Angeles team is the one that kind of started it. It's Ghostbuster themed hospital gowns for kids and children's hospitals. And they had a lofty goal. They said we're going to raise $40,000, and there's a dozen maybe Ghostbuster chapters right now that are collecting. You don't handle any money. All donations go can be added on the website, so you don't have to worry about how that works. And all it takes is promoting. You can sign up as a team. It takes 2 minutes, I promise. It's very easy, and you can have your own team raising money for these Ghostbuster themed hospital gowns for kids. Like, how amazing would it be for a child that's dealing with something horrible to be able to wear a Ghostbuster hospital gown? It's a fantastic fundraiser, and it takes no time and no money from your team. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You just have to promote and get people to donate to those links. They're close to halfway. I think they just passed the halfway point to 40,000. But the more teams that sign up, the faster we get to that 40,000. So I'd say don't wait. If your team's already done, if you've donated your toys, you've donated your money, here's another great cause to get behind, and it costs very little effort on your part. If you want more information, you can reach out to me directly. You can reach out to San Antonio Ghostbusters, or you can reach out to the Los Angeles Ghostbusters, who helped start this whole thing. Um, it's a no-brainer. I feel like as easy as it was for us to say, let's do a toy drive for 3 weeks, it's almost as easy to say, like, let's sign up for this fundraiser and let's get these hospital gowns for these kids. It'd be amazing. Kevin, all right, we'll go find it right now, brother. Okay, so
We can definitely talk about like the news too. I mean,
yes,
there's a lot.
we're definitely gonna get to the news right away. Kevin says he wants us to share a video. Kevin, can you kind of help us with what we're going to be sharing real quick? And then the Sacramento team says we got one more day in person collecting on Saturday. Anyone in North California want to help us out? Hit us up. They're sending out a call. They're sending out a call to anybody in Northern California. Reach out to the Sacramento team. Help them out for their final day of collecting. Yeah, make it happen. Awesome. Kevin, let me know what this video is about. We can kind of tee it up. Ah, so good. I'm so relieved to kind of finally get like totals out there, and really hoping that we kind of hit that last mark. Maddie, why don't you tell the folks what else we're going to be talking about today?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's hot news going on right now with the director role of our sequel to Afterlife, and there's some mixed reactions to it. I know that I've seen some, some comments out there from Jason with Gil, kind of talking about how he trusts him and everything. And of course, you know, I personally wanted Jason on for at least one more to help establish the world, because that's what we sort of need, because we know we're leaving that small farm and heading into a new place. And so my feelings on it, I kind of wanted Jason to keep it for at least one more, but it looks like he's taking a different role. maybe a. Some folks are saying it's like a Kevin Feige of the Ghost Corps. Some people are saying, you revitalize a franchise worth billions of dollars, and you start getting offers from places. So I'm curious on the Ghostheads' thoughts. I'm curious on yours too, Ted.
So, you and I, and kind of the people on the Geekcast, which is a show we run on Mondays. That's I think it was a Monday when the news dropped, or it was a Sunday. So that was sort of my first time talking about it. And so I'll kind of just reiterate what I said on that show about this, because I could not talk about it right away. I feel like this is half about Gil being completely uh good for the role of director for the movie. He has a good background. He has, a few films under his belt, sure, but one of those is Monster House, which I absolutely adore, and it still holds up. If you haven't seen it, it still holds up really well. But I think the other half of this is just as important, and that other half, I think, is that Jason is kind of positioning himself for more of a leader role within Ghost Corps. Now, why do I think that? Let's look at Sony and the other things that they kind of deal with, or they kind of manage. They're managing things like the Spider Verse, multiple Spider-Man projects under their belt. They have a handful of other franchises that they really take seriously, and they try and put out as many projects as they can, build on them, do crossovers, things of that nature. What I'm saying is, I think Ghostbusters is going to get to one of those big time franchises like Transformers, Marvel, DC, um, what else would I throw in there? Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. I feel like it's positioning itself to be one of those big time franchises that has a number of projects across the board, and we're already seeing that with like multiple video games. We're getting the traveling VR VR game experience, training
Yeah.
experience, where it was, that's coming out pretty soon. I think Jason's going to be better suited, sort of overlooking everything. Think of him as the Kevin Feige. Ghostbusters needs a person, much like Marvel has a person, and now DC has a person that sort of oversees every single division of the franchise: animation, movies, video games. What else do you want? Apps, things of that nature. It takes a good leader to kind of oversee everything and make sure the brand is on point. Maddie B, you and Joe talk about the brand being on point more than anybody, right?
Mhm.
Am I right?
It's true.
All right.
But
So I
I
think you
think
need
that he
a.
should have brought us to New York first, and then
He did
and
bring
then
us
let
to
go
New
from
York. The car is in the
there.
firehouse.
You know
It's
what I
in
mean.
New York. I got you. I got you. But I think that you need someone to make sure the brand is always on point, and Jason is the best person today who's suited to do so. He is a fan at heart. He's been involved with the franchise since a child. I would trust him just as much as I trust anybody, even like Dan Aykroyd, who's probably still going to be in a sort of a consultant role going forward for Ghost Corps. But those are my thoughts. I want to hear from you, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's like they're going to make him the Feige. You reiterated that point. It's being known in the chat too that other people agree. I just I just wanted him to maybe just do a second film just to fully establish the characters in the universe in his own vision. I know Gil helped in writing and everything. I just feel much better with um, Jason at the helms at this particular point, and then stepping back into those other things and being, because we have Dan who's the George Lucas, and we have Jason who can be sort of a Filoni. So that's totally fine with me. I think that all of that makes sense. I just wanted it to take a little bit more time so we could at least fully establish this world first under his true vision and not as a consultant on the project. And I trust Jason. I just don't trust Hollywood. I don't trust studios. And so that's what I'm worried about. If he gets too distracted with other projects, that um, maybe some decisions slip through the cracks, and maybe the Firehouse sequel, might suffer because of it. So that's my only concern and worry.
I gotcha. Christopher Robinson says, well, he's no stranger to the franchise having co-written Afterlife, so I'm optimistic, and I agree. He has the strengths and animation, so the animated feature they mentioned would be in his wheelhouse. Does it also make you think, like, is there a possibility that they could be toying with some aspects of the lore, which would involve like massive green screen sets? Hear me out. Hear me out. We all know, because we're all ghost heads, right? That like one of the original Ghostbuster 3 scripts involved the team traveling to the underworld, HE double hockey sticks, land of the dead, whatever you want to call it, right? That would have been a big production involving a lot of special effects, probably no practical sets, but like green screens and computer generated backgrounds and whatnot. Maybe they're bringing a guy like Gil in because you might be needing someone with more of that visual technical eye to do more computer generated special effects, because not that they're going to do that thing again, but just like Spirits Unleashed, which I mean it's going to be canon until they say it's not. They're already exploring other realms, and I'm down with it. I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's go with it. So you might need somebody who's a little bit more savvy in that area. So maybe it kind of fits that Gil has this experience a little bit more than Jason probably does. Not a lot, just a little, but perhaps they're going to be incorporating like other realms, other planes of existence, or stuff like that. And you might need someone along those lines. Making Jason the Kevin Feige of Ghostbusters does sound promising. I feel like it's necessary. Like Sony, I hope they've figured this out. There's so much potential for this franchise to thrive, and with multiple projects kind of being developed simultaneously, it helps to have somebody sort of quarterbacking or overseeing all aspects of the franchise. Let's not pretend like Kevin Feige doesn't do that. Like Kevin Feige is the deal breaker for everything. He doesn't come up with the all the ideas, but he at least is saying like, yes, this works. No, this might not make sense. This doesn't fit. Stuff like that. So keeping the brand on point, keeping the franchise cohesive, um, not straying too far away, trying something too different where the fans might get, I don't know, a sour taste in their mouth or just get sort of resentment for something that they try. I think it's all possible that Jason's kind of being set up for that role. Kevin says, oh, that's about the video. I'm going to get to that in a second. Paxton says, it, it was a Dimension New York, but a HE double hockey sticks version. Ooh, very nice. So
Yeah, it was like a
maybe.
parallel. It was like a parallel dimension, and it was their same city. Everything was there was the same, but it was just a hell version of that. The 2009 video game took it way further, where there's actually
Sure.
other dimensions, and we see that in Spirits Unleashed too, where there's this different pocket and dimension. As much as I like 2009, I don't know if I love that aspect. I like Ghostbusters being like completely ridiculous, but also super grounded at the same time. I like the idea of a hellscape version of New York City, but I don't know if I want us to go through, these portals and the spirit world and all that. that doesn't scream Ghostbusters to me, and it wouldn't have for anyone until you maybe played the 2009 video game, or you're a big fan of the real Ghostbusters, which a lot of people are. But when it comes to the movies, it's just that's not how it is. And so I kind of would prefer them to keep it a little grounded, and let's actually get them busting some ghosts. Let's do that. They did a full counter. Ghostbusters News posted it the other day, and I guess Ghost Corp came out with a full counter of all the ghosts busted in 50 years. I mean, how long has this movie been out? 40 years, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
almost
So
40.
almost 40
38.
years, and we've seen like 22 Ghostbusters. I mean, come on, let's just watch, let's just see them go through their day. Let's have them out there talking shop, getting dirty, getting greasy a little bit, having some fun, busting some ghosts. We don't need a portal into hell right away.
No, and it's not a necessity, right? But even a movie like Constantine sort of did the hell on earth sort of um landscape of the underworld, and it was still, John Constantine still in LA, but it's hell's LA, you know what I mean? So like you can still have hell on earth or whatever else, kind of have that viewpoint, but still need the special effects to kind of give it that look and that feel. I'm not saying it's hell. It could also be like Spirits Unleashed, the afterworld plane or whatever they call it, the spirit world, or or I just thought of this because you mentioned that Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters cartoon. I believe there's one episode where they traveled into the containment unit, into the pocket universe that Egon created. How dope would that be? I mean, and
I
they had
guess,
to
I
they
guess,
had to save Slimer. They had to save somebody like that.
but why? I just Ghostbusters.
Because go busting ghosts is great. It's great. Don't get me wrong, but there has to be like you have to try some new things every now and then.
Yeah, but all we really want from Ghostbusters, if you're a fan of the movies, is just a couple of blue collar folks just busting some ghosts and kind of fighting against the government that's trying to keep them down. There's very heavy themes in the movies. I don't know that we need these crazy,
They're they're not
dimensions of
crazy.
objects. Well, I don't.
They're
It's
all
not
Ghostbuster
crazy.
lore.
But you
They're-
remember one of the biggest complaints about 2016 wasn't so much that it was a reboot or whatever. The CG, and like they did the little inner dimension thing too, and it looked really corny and it looked really bad. Um, and I don't think that we need this like flashy like thing. I think if you just have some folks busting some ghosts and there's a big bad and they take them down at the end and they tell some jokes in between, uh, that's all we really need.
I will still be happy with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm theorizing that Gil has some background in this that might be beneficial to a story they're trying to come up with. Christopher Robinson says, if you're going to go down some upscaled effects, I want Adam Savage back on the project. His commitment to models, practical effects, storytelling through props is second to none. Facts. 100%. And also, like, Gil's still a part of the, let's call it Afterlife team, right? All these folks, they're going to be using hopefully the same special effects artists, same costume designers, like same set designers, same sound uh, mixers and all that stuff. I feel like they have a solid group, and they're going to keep them around and just go with it. Kind of keep the family together. Wishful thinking. They call on the ghost heads to play extra Ghostbusters like the Mandalorian did with the 501st. Hey, I'm already ready. Let's do this. Let's go, baby. You ready, Matt? We're going to New York, buddy.
Hey, I'm totally down. Yes. Yes. The answer is yes.
They should. They should. There should be a montage where they're having like a tryout, and I will be one of the guys that fails, but at least I'll be in the background, like tripping over my hose on my on from my particle thrower. I will gladly be that person in the background. Let's see. That counter only covered live action movies, not video games or cartoons. That counter only covered live action movies. Ivan, you lost me there. I hope they might get some footage at FanFest for such a franchise acknowledging moment. Ooh, that would be fantastic. I hope so. I think that FanFest is far enough down the road where we will get plenty of info. I mean, look, they haven't changed the release date, right? Like they're supposed to have a movie out in just about a year, and as far as we know, they're still in pre-production, so they kind of have to get cracking, but at least have a teaser by FanFest. Am I right? Does that seem too far-fetched, Matt?
No, no way, because we got that teaser of just the ecto, the cloth blowing off the ecto way before Afterlife came out. Obviously, there was pushes on that, but that teaser of the cloth blowing off the Ecto One license plate with the fire up proton pack sound came out. Wait, I mean that's teaser enough. That'll keep Ghostbusters fans happy for a year. It'll give
I'm
us
down.
plenty to talk about and speculate on. We have not been fed much in 40 years, and so every time we get a good meal or at least a nice snack, we're pretty happy with it.
We are pretty happy with it, and I'm totally down. So yeah, definitely. Paxton says Egon goes into the containment unit to get the spirits of Christmas. Oh, is that the Real Ghostbusters episode?
Yeah,
I remember them going in. I can't remember who they were trying to get,
I
but yeah.
just I just don't count the real Ghostbusters as canon per se.
Well, you
And
should, because the bug-eyed ghost in Afterlife, no, the bug-eyed ghost in Spirits Unleashed is from Real Ghostbusters.
yeah, but that was just a fun Easter egg. But that's not like
No, 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 no.
that's not canonization. I mean, the technology was different. It was the characters look completely different. They went on some pretty ridiculous. So all I'm saying is I like the real Ghostbusters. I like it a lot, but I'm
Yeah.
a huge fan of the movies, and in no way is the real Ghostbusters a part of the movie canon.
Can
It's
I? Can I?
just
I'll just say that there's some things to pull from. You know what I mean?
oh
Like
for sure.
let's say it's not 100% canon because there's so many stories that happen in Real Ghostbusters, and Slimer is there for like all of them. Um, but there's definitely lore to pull from and to give you inspiration for things going forward. I
Do you
would
want?
love say what?
I was just saying, I mean, like all that Slimer stuff in the real Ghostbusters. I mean, all they turned him into Scooby Doo. That's kind of what they did. They needed a utility for Slimer, so they're like, oh, well, if he can enter the containment unit, then we can put the characters in some interesting situations. But I don't want Ghostbusters movies moving forward where Slimer is like a Scooby Doo, and he's like a part of the team and is able to like hop in and out. I prefer like a ghost that gets out every once in a while. He's friendly. They know him. It's a ha ha laugh. But they bust him and put him back in the trap, and that's kind of what it is. I don't want a Scooby Doo Slimer running around.
No, like a
No,
pet?
no, no.
No.
No, I don't want that in any way, shape, or form. In fact, if they try to do that, I'll be very turned off by it. I don't. That's not real. I mean, the Ghostbusters '84 felt like real life to me when I watched it the first time, and I gave the sequel the same love. But I don't. No, I don't want Slimer running around like Scooby Doo.
Slimer helped Louise Tully save the world in Ghostbusters 2 by
He drove
driving
the
him
bus.
on a bus. So
Now, what I
he's
would
a
be cool with,
helpful, friendly ghost and deserves our respect and admiration. That's
I
where Louise Tully is right now. He's chilling with Slimer.
well, yeah, because they put him on the bus. He was a bus driver. If you give me Slimer back in these movies, I want Rick Moranis back too. And it's just occasionally when we segue away from a Ghostbust or a funny joke from the Ghostbusters team, it's just a buddy comedy of them like roommates in an apartment. Just Louis Tully and Slimer, buddy comedy there in an apartment. That's totally fine with me. But I don't need a ghost to be a part of the team. I think that's kind of weird and corny.
I I think it might happen eventually. You know, Sony and these studios, they like to sell toys. And what's been selling the most in the last few years? Baby Yoda. I feel like there's a few other examples that I'm not remembering right now. Oh yeah,
Puffs did well.
Baby Groot. You know,
Yeah.
Baby Groot, Baby Yoda. You're gonna get a cute little ghost eventually. It's best you just kind of accept it now because it's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, maybe. And they tried to. Well, Muncher really wasn't cute enough. It's hard to make a ghost cute
He's
enough.
deadly.
Slimer can be cute when you make him into a plush, but I don't know. I don't want Ghostbusters to be that thing that sells kids' toys all the time.
It's the
Like
kid property.
it's not a kid's property. You think the 1984 movie is a kids movie in any
I
way,
want.
shape,
I
or
would
form?
love. I would
Kids movie.
love to argue that it is. It's pretty close. They're
No,
superheroes.
it deals with
They're
heavy
su-
adult themes and
they're
dry
superheroes.
comedy. It
So
is
did
dry.
a lot of cartoons in the '80s. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but
Have you
first,
seen Roger Rabbit these days?
but I'm saying kids today. Kids today, they cannot make it until the first scene um, when they're busting at the Sedgwick. And you might watch it with your kids, and they might say, "Hey, Dad, you know we love watching this with you," but they don't care about that movie until it gets to them at the scene at the Sedgwick.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's just the way it is. It deals with heavy adult themes. The Dana and Peter stuff, all the way down to some other scenes that we've seen in there. I don't know if I want it to be a kid's property. In fact, a rated R Ghostbusters down the line, even if we got a spinoff, what if one of the animated series was like a animatrix style, kind of like a rated R film where it's like
I'm
it's
down.
still super gritty stuff. What would also be really funny is a film noir Ghostbusters, um, where it's like sort of dark setting and self narrated, and the dry humor and everything is still there, but it's like set completely like film noir. That would be kind of funny too.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Not Robinson Fernandez says they alluded to it being a Spengler family continuation. With that, I would also assume there's going to be heavy emphasis on what happened before Afterlife, but also there was a containment unit blinking at the end of Afterlife, so something they already it cut it off. Something they already caught is going to be an issue, I would assume. Yeah, I think it's either something they caught or the containment unit is failing. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be well, I think Egon once mentioned that the life no, he was talking about the proton packs, right? They have a yearly life expectancy of like 4,400 years, something like that.
The
400
power
years.
cell and the
Power
proton pack
cells in the
has
proton
a
packs.
half life of 5,000 years.
That's
Uh,
what it is. Ugh.
but it's kind of clear that the containment unit is going to blow, and that's why Egon needs these young folks to help him learn how to bust some ghosts. And the containment system's going to go. Ghosts are going to be spread through New York, and the kids are going to have to go bust some. And hopefully, we get a little bit more than just a montage. It'd be nice to have them just kind of throwing some lassos, pulling them in.
I'm down. I'm down, and I fully expect the technology is already being kind of pushed forward in the Spirits Unleashed game, which it's not going to be 100% canon, but I feel like there's enough there to kind of build off of it, and it'll also be a very cool incorporated story for going forward. Let's see here. One second. Paxton says, "Real Ghostbusters looks different because they couldn't use their likeness." True. Although Ernie Hudson, I think we had a conversation together where he said like he was willing to do the voiceover, but they said no, they needed somebody with a different voice than his, and he's like, "I am Winston Zeddemore. Why would my voice not work out?" So yeah, funny. Paxton also says but it is canon because there was an episode after they beat Gozer. Yes, there was. And isn't that the one where their suits kind of get possessed? I love that episode.
How many
No, I
different
never
books? How many different comic books have Spider-Man fighting the Green Goblin?
a billion.
Yeah. Are they all in the same universe?
Nope.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just a different thing altogether. It's the same thing, but it's just different.
Absolutely.
The movie
Let's see
world
here.
is different than the cartoon.
Paxton also says Luis did have an old roommate that moved to Florida.
She did.
That was his mama, by the way.
They probably didn't like the smell of French bread pizza, but
There you go. Sacramento says that was the mini puffs. Yes, you're right. And so expect more small cuteness things that can be sold. Preferably one that kind of sticks around. Let's see here. Not Robinson also says they're gonna need to put Janine on an exercise bike to keep the containment unit up and running. I love that episode. Awesome. Fantastic. Well, listen, those are our thoughts on Gil Kenan, which got a little off track, but directing Firehouse. I think we're gonna wait and see what happens, right? But I do feel like Ghostbusters is being positioned for a bright future, and we should all be extremely excited about that. Let's wait and see what happens. Um, let's wait to see what gets announced by FanFest. I think we'll all be happily surprised with the direction of the franchise. We want it thriving more than anything else, and I think we're going to get there eventually. We have more chapters to talk to. Please welcome from the Southwest Florida Ghost Corps, Brian. What's going on, sir? How are you?
Hello.
Welcome.
Hold on, I'm figuring out the orientation and everything here. Okay, there we go.
Nailed it. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. It's been a couple days since we did our distribution of the toys from our toy drive, and we're still recovering from the exhaustion of that.
I loved your team's story because you guys had a great turnout, and then you kind of dropped the bombshell on me that this was your first real big charity event, right?
This was our first gig as the Ghostbusters, yeah, as the Southwest Florida Ghost Corps.
Talk to us about the event, and let's start there. Talk to
So,
us about the event and how you guys felt afterwards.
so the event was held at the Gladiolus Food Pantry, which is where which is what was the toy drive and the food drive was benefiting. They're a food pantry that serves some of the lesser fortunate areas of Fort Myers where we live. And post hurricane, they went from we're in the area that Hurricane Ian was affected by down here in Florida. And they went from serving a couple hundred people every week to thousands of people every couple of weeks.
Wow.
So it was getting really, really, intense. So I had this crazy idea of teaming up with the Iona McGregor Fire Department because, firefighters, Ghostbusters, they kind of go hand in hand.
Exactly.
And they invited us out. And when I say a full semi-truck of toys were dropped off at this food pantry, I'm talking like a full, drops off supplies at a store just full of toys. And we got there for the first distribution, and there was probably thousands of toys sitting out at this gathering. And I got to take a look inside the back of the semi truck, and it was still 3/4 full of toys.
Wow.
That is amazing.
Like we were trying to hunt down this one particular toy for a kid, and I that scene in DuckTales where Scrooge McDuck dives into his money bin?
Yeah.
That was me and the captain from the fire department trying to track down this toy. Diving straight into a sea of toys. It was crazy. There's some photos of us with Santa there. It was hot. It was very sunny. We're a little toasty after that, a little crispy. Those are some of the homemade toys that my wife who's in the Antlers there, she handmade those teddy bears and donated them to for the toy drive. And
That's fantastic.
it was a great event. The kids loved us. We got there a little bit earlier than the fire truck did. So the kids were all over us. But then as soon as the fire truck showed up, they were like, oh. Yes, they are. And there's a wonderful shot of the Ecto 6. It's still in the works.
No, but it looks great.
And there's my beautiful wife with the toys in the fire truck again.
Hi guys.
She's in the background.
Hello.
Let me see if I can get her. There she is.
Hi. I just washed my hair.
Well, she should be on the forefront instead of the background. She's way better to look at.
That she is. There's if you go back one photo, the bears I'm holding her. That's Ghostbusters fabric that we found at Joanne's Fabric and made.
Oh yeah.
But they have
Little
awesome
teddy
fabric.
bears.
They have awesome Ghostbusters fabric at
It
Joanne.
says, "I ain't afraid of no ghost," and the O is the no ghost logo all across the bears.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool, man. And we're
Brian,
stoked.
Brian, you guys have some fans. Sacramento says, "Good job, going big right from the start is amazing. Keep up the good work."
Thank you, Sacramento.
Yeah, and that's two sunshine states bringing joy to the world, Sacramento and the Southwest Florida Ghost Corps. So, where are you guys at in Southwest Florida? Because I'm very familiar with.
So, majority of us live in Fort Myers, which is where that fire district is. That's our good friend Paul Neven, who's the guy who looks like Old Man Spangler.
He really does. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You should see him when he spray paints his hair black. Like the first time I saw it, I thought it was Harold Ramis back from the dead.
That is crazy how much he
He's
looks.
kind of
like
known in the Florida Ghostbusters community for that look of his. So it started off as just the three of us, and then more friends joined, and then now we're backed by a firehouse, so that's pretty cool.
He should do the ghost Egon.
It's gonna happen.
It's in the works. We're working on it. We're figuring out how we can dye the suit like that eerie blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting some costuming ideas.
There
There
you
was
go.
a
If
good
anybody has any
example of-
ideas, throw them out there.
There was a good example of one on Ghostbusters News a while back. That might be a good reference. But I was bringing up Southwest Florida because I go down there often. The in-laws live in Delray Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's probably like an hour and a half from Fort Myers.
Yes. Something like that. Yeah. Southwest Florida is a big area.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to keep track of all my folks down there. So if I'm ever in the area and you guys,
Oh, absolutely! If you find
yeah.
yourself in the Fort Myers area, Fort Myers, Port Charlotte, Naples area, let us know. We'll drive out or whatever.
We'll get dinner
Yeah.
or something.
heck yeah, we'll get dinner on you though. We just.
But yeah, as I'm sure you guys have seen on that map, there's quite a few Florida franchises down here, but none in our area. So I was like, hey, let's start our own. So
Yeah, heck yeah, and you got the
We
Ecto.
got lots of friends in Orlando, Eustis, Bartow.
Yeah, there's a lot of franchises down there, but that's dope. And getting your Ecto is a big start because then it's easier to pitch to businesses. Hey, we'll park the car outside. It'll bring people in. And
Exactly.
So that's an angle you should definitely take. So we're proud of you for that, and thank you for joining on for the toy drive. For
thank
sure.
you for taking us in.
Brian, one last question for you and the spouse. Seeing all these kids out at this event, seeing this semi truck, filled with toys, being a part of all that, what does it mean to you guys that you kind of helped this move forward and you're changing this month and this holiday season for hundreds of kids, just hundreds.
Well, I grew up. My parents weren't. I wouldn't say they were on the poverty line, but they weren't rich either. So stopping by a pantry like that was, or going to like a toy drive was something that we did. And my father he's retired now, but he's EMS, So we do these kind of toy drives things all the time, and the look on these kids' faces when they actually get to take something home for Christmas is, I mean, that's the whole reason for the season, is it not?
Absolutely.
Oh,
The gift of
that's
giving.
the reason for the season. I didn't know you had a rap career, but you're starting off really, really good.
I think
But
I
that
sold
is
it off a bumper sticker or something like that, actually.
That's a shirt. That's a shirt easily right there.
Yeah.
Roll for bardic inspiration.
Yeah. But yeah, just being able to make these kids happy, and the relief on the parents' face when they're able to get something and get something nice for their kids. It's like, and these were like really nice toys. Like, this is stuff that even my parents wouldn't have gotten me as kids. It was like, damn, this stuff is like not from the dollar store. It's like top shelf Walmart or like Target stuff.
yeah.
So
That's
it was
so
really,
cool.
really cool.
Talk to us about the organization that these toys are going to. Tell us what the name is.
The
And
Gladiolus Food Pantries, like I said, they're a food pantry. It was just a couple of ladies doing a thing. Now they have dozens of employees, and like I said, I think the or the drive lasted 2 hours. The line didn't. Yeah, we got there around noon, and we didn't leave till 3 o'clock, handing out toys to kids and posing for pictures with kids with the fire truck and in our own car and stuff like that.
They were lined up before the event even started.
Yeah, yeah, and I would say the line was at least a quarter mile long.
Do the kids
That's
believe you're
fantastic.
real when you're lined up with a
Yes.
fire truck?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And especially when you go up and down the line with the PKE meter and you start scanning their parents, being like,
I've always noticed that with if an Ecto and Ghostbusters are around emergency service vehicles, then you instantly get more credibility with the like 8 and under crowd. They're like, wait,
oh,
this
absolutely. Well, the funny part was getting the fire captain to try on all the Ghostbusters gear.
We got
is real.
the photo.
Wow. Cool.
that's awesome. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I think I may have
Brian,
sent you guys like a Google Drive link in an email. So if you want to look through all the pictures we got, go for it.
absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely check that out. Brian, want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank you guys for, taking this chance, getting out there, helping your community, making a difference. Like I said, you put a bunch of smiles on kids' faces, and you took a shot, and I think that's just what we're all trying to do out here. And it's groups like you guys who you said this is the first time you really tried anything like this. It's groups like you guys that are helping to make this a tremendous success. There's a lot of groups out there that are doing this for the first time, and it's all of us
cool
coming
thing.
together. All of us coming together that's going to make this a tremendous event, and one that we can keep building off of year after year. So I want to thank you guys, and congrats for the awesome event, and just thank you. We appreciate you very much. So for everything you've done
Thank you so much for
your
having us
community.
on. And seriously, it's like the charity stuff is just, it's what we do.
Yeah, we'll get ready for next year, and then also
we got to
also-
figure out how to top this year.
Get the roof rack on the car.
well then you have double the opportunity now.
2
You have that much
semi-trucks.
more time.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So we'll get it popping. We'll get everything going. And then also don't forget about the summer. I think there may be something in the works of a school supply drive. So
Oh,
That could be fun.
that would be cool.
yep, let's stay active. That's the way groups live. If you don't grow, you die. You have to keep active. And we want to help you guys in any way we can. So I think we'll have some things to talk to you about soon.
I can do a
Okay.
school supply drive.
Sounds great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just let us know. We'll always answer the call.
Hey.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Appreciate you guys again. Everybody in the chat, show some love for the Southwest Florida Ghost Corps. Tremendous event. Their first event, and they went all out. Appreciate you guys. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Y'all have a wonderful night. We're going to talk to you guys very soon, I promise.
All right. You guys have a great night.
Later,
Thanks
dude.
again. Later, Brian.
Bye.
Awesome. How great was that? A semi-truck of toys
Yeah, that's awesome.
Unreal,
Yeah.
unreal. I would lose
Um,
my stuff if I saw that.
but that's why partnering with these municipalities, remember when we did the event with the local police department?
Yep.
They absolutely love anything that brings them closer to the community. It helps them in everything, and they'll use part of their marketing budget to help you. Not every one of them is going to work out, but when it's a community wide event and you're like, "Hey, we'd like to be a part of this," they're gonna say yes. It's just gonna happen. So just getting out there and doing it. And again, as many first time chapters that we have out here going into this thing is almost just as much of a like beautiful moment for me as the amount of money or toys raised. It's the
Right.
activation of groups and getting people out there and spreading that message. All of it. My heart is just warm, Ted. My heart is scolding right now. If you touch my chest, you burn your fingers.
It's like that scene of the Grinch where like his heart's like pounding out of his chest.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. This is a good time now. Kevin did a little project with his team. Kevin with the Lansing group. I believe this is Lansing leader Ryan Holmes. They did a short video. So uh, Kevin wants us to check it out. Let's check it out. Here we go. I know there's probably not any sound.
No, it's coming through.
Is it? Okay.
I can hear it. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
That was good. I would have liked some self narration there. It was the 14th of July. I had just gotten off of work. And you know what I mean? Like a whole thing. Some self narration there would have been hilarious. I loved the truck coming by at the end, and then the input of the I believe in magic entrance of the taxi cab hitting a car. That was beautiful. That was great.
Well done. Shout out
Yeah.
to Ryan Holmes, Patrick Clark, I guess, who worked on that video, and the Lansing team. Lansing team, who is doing a food drive tomorrow. For more information, go check out their Facebook page. I'll also just share the flyer one more time. One more time. How about that? One more time. Lansing, the Lansing team, 4 to 8 1982 West Grand River Avenue in Okemos, Michigan, Meridian Mall. 25% of all jump admissions, I guess this is a jumping facility,
Yeah.
will be donated. That's huge because we know those places aren't cheap. And
Yeah.
canned good drop offs are going to be appreciated. So, how about the Lansing team? Share the flyer, spread the word, get your families out there if you're in the Michigan area. It's all going to be going towards a good cause.
And they're going to be
Awesome.
on Fox 47 if you're in the Lansing area. Fox 47, baby. Getting on the nightly news from the clouds. The Lansing Ghostbusters coming with a jackhammer dunk. Um, but that's awesome. That's what we look for, especially in this time. I know Ted earlier gave a bit of a halftime speech, but yes, let's keep it going. This next week, we have to increase efforts. We have to increase sharing. We have to increase everything. This Ghostbusters network, again, it's a big spider web. The more you share, the more likely it is it ends up with somebody in that area. So let's do everything. If you can't get out, fine. Share 10 things. Share 10 things from your fellow Ghostbusters on this toy drive in this next week. And then I think we'll move mountains.
Absolutely. Um, we're waiting on maybe one more group to see if they can make it. And Aaron says, "I'm here. Start over from the beginning."
Well,
Definitely.
watch until the end and then start over from the beginning. You can do that immediately when this is over. And Aaron, check out our new intro. You'll love it.
I was just about to say you missed a fantastic new intro that we've been stoked for for the last few days. We also have, while we're waiting on one potential last chapter to talk with tonight, we also have one more topic on hand, and that involves our new favorite game, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, the patch update. Yes, the patch. Everybody who plays the game, there was a patch that went into effect very recently, and you might have already heard a little bit about it. If you haven't, let's go ahead and get you guys all caught up, shall we?
Yeah.
The patch update. We're not going to go line by line because there's a ton of
But
stuff.
can we emphasize? So, patch update, I don't think is a good phrase for Ghostbusters
Ooh,
to use.
what do you want to call it?
I think you just say it's just an update. Why do they have to
An
say
update.
patch? Um, so it's like because I always think about just patches because so many people in the Ghostbuster community there's like patches and pins and when when they released it I was like, oh, Spirits Unleashed is going to make a patch. This is crazy. Let's get an update on the patch. But there's a lot of cool things that came in there. I don't think anything's better than the Keymaster helmet.
Probably not. But I was excited for a few of the items that were listed, including we'll talk about it right now. So for those of you folks, which if you are maxed out at level 100, don't lie, but tell us in the chat because I want to see how many folks are actually maxed out 100. We're all ghost heads here, but how many of you are actually maxed out 100? I'm not there yet. I'm not even close, but I'm like more than halfway. So that's all I'll say about that. I do multiple shows like this a week. Kind of takes up my free time already. But yeah, if you're maxed out 100 or whatever level you are, throw that in the chat because I just want to see where everybody's at. But there's a new tenured system for players who have already maxed out at level 100. I guess you'll basically get like an acknowledgement that you've already maxed out once, and then you just start over. You go
It's
back to
prestige.
one. Yeah, there you go. It's prestige. You go back to one, you lose everything, but you build back up, and yeah, you'll just be one of the badasses who gets to say like, I've already maxed this game out, and I'm already going for my victory lap, basically. This is the one I'm really excited about. Customized name tags. Yes, I'm that nerdy and lame, but getting the opportunity to like throw my name on the name tag, they need to also allow you to add patches, right? Add a logo that can be put on your suit. We talked about this. Ilphonic, listen, chapters would love to throw their own logos on their flight suits in game. That would be tremendous. Ivan says he's 52. Brian's level 1. Christopher Robinson says we were talking about the expectation of a holiday DLC like Halloween, a decorated firehouse. The Santa hat is a must. That would be huge.
I don't
I don't
think
know
we're
why.
getting any Christmas at all.
I feel like the most important thing was balancing the gameplay, right? They didn't
Yeah.
want the ghosts being too OP. They didn't want the Ghostbuster team being too difficult. So finding a good balance was probably step number one, but they could probably incorporate things further down the road.
My main thing is the major bug that they fixed for me, which actually kept me from playing the game as much. If I had a different item equipped for some reason, like let's say I threw a trap out and then I switched over to a PKE meter, I wouldn't get skill rankings for both items. Yeah, like I would either get a trap or I would get a PKE meter increase. And so it looks like they've fixed that now. So if you're using multiple tools, you're not just upgrading one or the other. So I had that happen a few times with the trap. If I had something else, another special item equipped, I wouldn't get the ranking for it. So it looks like they fixed that, and that didn't happen to everybody, but it definitely happened to me. Um, but again, the prestige level in these sort of things, I think if they really like this update is going to help some folks. I've already heard a little bit of the rumblings, and you have too, Ted, of some folks saying, it does get a little repetitive. I don't know that adding a prestige factor changes that. The next patch, they're fine for now, but the next patch update needs more than just one new level. I think it needs something to revitalize it. Some people have been talking about bringing in the slime blower and some other different types of equipment. This is a good patch. The game hasn't been out that long, but it does get a little repetitive, and prestiging doesn't cure that illness. Ranking up the players and making sure that everything's good. I'm glad that they balance the gameplay, but in the next patch, I would like to see just something else to kind of keep it a little bit more interesting for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I don't mind more maps, but I also think like if you want maybe I don't know, are you guys doing player versus player? Like I feel like that's the best way to keep things fresh, right? You're not just playing against the AI all the time. Player versus player. Some people play as ghosts, and you kind of keep it fresh and you keep things new. I also would like to see maybe a different game mode. I don't know what else they could incorporate that would
Yeah,
make
I would
sense.
too.
But if you did something like I don't know what they call them in other games, but waves of ghosts, maybe like two ghosts. You gotta trap them within a certain amount of time. Ooh, I just figured it out. So you have a time limit, right? You start off with one ghost. You get 3 minutes to capture one
So,
ghost.
so you're talking about zombies.
Kind of zombies, yeah, but
Yeah.
the ghosts. So you get one ghost, you get Basher, and you gotta trap him in 5 minutes or less. And easy, clear, done it. Now you get two ghosts. You get 5 minutes, two ghosts, and then 6 minutes, three ghosts, 7 minutes, four ghosts, and you see how long you can actually keep it going. And that would be dope. That would be awesome. I could see a team of people. Paxton even called it zombies,
Yeah.
like on Call of Duty.
Well,
Yes,
it would
but
be even cooler if they do it like it's maps too, like the way Call of Duty did zombies. After a while, like, well, they're not just going to want to sit in the same place. They added maps, and so there's like parts and things to find. That would be a sick mode in Ghostbusters. Don't get me wrong. I think that's an awesome idea, because I didn't love the story mode they had in this one. In fact, the story mode that they had in this one,
what?
um, I mean, I kind of like the story and everything, but every time that you're trying to play online, it forcefully pulled you away from playing the game you were trying to play with your friends into completing a story mode mission. I don't like that. Like if like let's say I convinced my friend to download Spirits Unleashed, and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll download it and we'll play for an hour. I have an hour to play." And you're like, "Okay, cool." And then you play one match, and then all of a sudden you're pulled into a 30-minute story mode, and you didn't even know it was coming. So like you should have the option to skip the story mode and complete it later if you'd like. That's all
There
I'm
you go.
saying. So I think that they should have worked that a little bit different. Zombies on a map type thing like Call of Duty did with Ghostbusters would be fire.
I'll
It'd be a
I'll
really good
go.
idea.
There you go. Muncher is a part of the first planned DLC. That's a pretty big deal. Yes. Also, I'm a little worried because Muncher's lethal, right? Like, if Muncher can spit, you know, let's just air quotes
Metal bullets. He's shooting
bullets.
bullets. Yeah.
He's shooting bullets. He should be able to incapacitate a team pretty simple. A lot simpler than some of these other ghosts. So yeah, that could be an OP, an overpowered ghost, if you ask me. But potential overpowered ghost. So not only the increase the ghost number wave after wave, round after round. Start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Time limit, try and get them in under amount of time. I think that would be fire. So it's almost like zombies, but in the reverse, where like you're not trying. It's not waves of ghosts, but you're starting with one, then two, then three, and you go up.
So
But
it's like a
also you
like
could
a
you
Mortal
could
Kombat where you climb the
something
tiers
like
and
that,
then
something
the
like
big
that,
bad is at the top.
something like that. Ivan, you beat me to it. I was about to say it. Ivan beat me. You could do a mini game with trying to pop as many ghost mains as possible. Me and Ivan are on the same wavelength here. So a lot like zombies, where you would just get waves of minions, and all you can do as a team is PKE blast and particle thrower. What you call, just shoot it with a particle thrower like nonstop, and you just kind of get wave after wave of minions while you're running away from them, maybe, and also like grappling hooking your way through the map to try and get away. And you lose once all your teammates are incapacitated. I think that would be a cool
Well, now
little
you're
game as well.
describing Arkham South. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that they could do. I find this particular game mode a little bit repetitive, and I would
I
like a
love
little
it
bit more.
though. I love it so much. I love it. Paxton says mini puffed invasion rounds. Yes. Ilphonic, are you listening? Everybody, somebody type in the chat either hashtag or just put a at Ilphonic. That way they can come watch us the next time. Christopher Robinson says you should be able to sit down at a TV or arcade and play some 8-bit mini games. Oh,
They've had that in a
yes.
few video games before. There's been several games that did like something similar to that, and I completely agree. If they made a deal with those old like NES games or like some of the Sega, I believe, like if you could sit down at the TV in the break room and play those games, would be the sickest thing ever.
So I mean, this is Sony, right? So you should be able to play like old Sega games, or I'll do you one better. You can sit down and play the Nintendo Ghostbusters game. Like they should have the old Ghostbusters game
Right.
where 2D. You're the bird's eye view of the Ecto driving around town. Like that would be dope. I love that. That would be sick.
It would be incredibly immersive. Metal Gear Solid did some things like that where you could like there'd be random Easter eggs where you could like play a certain level would be like the first Metal Gear Solid on the first PlayStation. Um, that would be sick. I think they should hire us. We should be sitting in this idea room.
They should. Ilfana, give us a call. Just yeah, watch these videos. There you go. Watch these streams. Five Nights at Freddy's. That franchise is notorious for putting in mini games, and then the most recent Five Nights at Freddy's is 80s style, 80s retro style, based in a mall slash amusement park, and there's arcade levels like where you can go up to arcade cabinets and play the games, but they're all within the lore of the video game. I can go on for hours talking about that. Sacramento says sounds like the Times Square fight scene from the 2016 Ghostbusters. Yeah, definitely, for sure, for sure. Paxton's already calling
No,
out
go
Ilphonic. Ilphonic, come take a look.
I was going to say we should get Justin right in. He's the number one Spirits Unleashed player I know. We should bring him in to talk about what he thinks about the patch update.
Bring him in. Bring him in. Send him the
Yeah,
link there, and
I'll send him the link. Justin, we'll bring you in, Justin. I just need to figure out how to bring him in. Can you shoot me the link in the private chat, Ted?
I
You just
yeah.
sent it to Buffalo, yeah.
Okay. Actually, I have I have it open. I'll send it to him real quick.
A mall level would be a great addition, Ivan. I agree. Some new levels would help a ton. And even if those levels have some different features, um, I think they kept it super simple, and the game hasn't been out that long. It's not enough to complain about, really, unless you played it as much as Justin, who we're about ready to bring on. But it can get a little repetitive, and I don't see a game for us in the future that's going to have this in-depth story mode that I'm looking for. not even the video game, because the way it's set, kind of how the characters are being in AR. I kind of just want, you know how like I was so hyped during the Game Awards to see the Jedi Survivor trailer because I could continue the story with a character that I really care about in an immersive experience. And I really want that from Ghostbusters. Like, give me another 2009 style video game where we can sort of build on the lore and.
I didn't cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cut me off. I think I just finished my point. Maybe I finished it on an and. I do that sometimes. I have a bad habit of finishing sentences on and, which is not a good habit. Um, but I think that it's we need something more like that, or at least I do. I don't want to say we. I don't speak for everybody, but
I
I'm not too
gotcha.
hooked on the AR game. Like this game's cool, but I want something more like 2009, where we can build on the lore, we can build on the characters, maybe introduce a new character, um, anything, but much more like video game experience, kind of like a Jedi Survivor or the 2009 game.
Everybody's loving the small idea. And listen, I love the 2009 game as well, but the thing that sticks out the most is that you could not bust ghosts with your friends. Not like you can in this game, which I I mean I think a lot of people just wanted that part of it. Is like we get to walk around the firehouse, we get to bust ghosts, we get to like try on these outfits and whatnot, all this customization
For
that
sure.
they put into it. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. That could just be the multiplayer mode. Like if you download Call of Duty, you don't just download multiplayer. You can play through a nice campaign mode where we're building through stories and everything, and then you flip over into multiplayer mode, and then you can go have that fun like you have on Spirits Unleashed. It's
there you
just I
go.
think it's missing that other piece.
And somebody mentioned it earlier. It was actually Justin. Some use of the ecto, and let's ask the man himself from the Oklahoma City Ghostbusters, Mr. Justin Wright. What's going on,
Hey,
Justin?
hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Fantastic. Ivan also says a mall would be nice setting for a Christmas themed overlay mission.
Nice.
Yes, Ilphonic, a mall would be
Yeah,
fantastic. Like
which
3 levels, escalators going everywhere. No, I would love that.
that would be pretty cool. Yeah, but they haven't even done the DLC like they did for Halloween. They haven't decked the firehouse out in Christmas stuff, Like it
Yeah.
seemed like as soon as Halloween came, like I mean, they had that all, the DLC, but uh I don't know, like it seems like this patch it was kind of like a big I don't know, it was kind of like it wasn't as cool as I thought it was going to be. I mean, yeah, you get to do some custom name tags. Um but it's only like a preset list. That'd be cool if you could actually do like a custom name tag like you could do it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, did you already talk about the prestige? Essentially like prestige mode, you can one you have to you can
Yeah,
reset
we,
everything.
we talked about it, but we wanted to hear from somebody who's at the level where they would be prestiging. Like, does that keep you more engaged to lose everything?
It's I mean, you get the colander hat like once you prestige, but also you have to redo the contracts, and sometimes the contracts can be like harder than hell to do, especially
Some of them
like
are, yeah.
yeah, like yeah, especially if you get like if you're by yourself and not with like friends or anything like that, they can be really hard to do because you have randoms in there. Like so one I was trying to work on was destroy a portal by yourself, and you're like trying to wave them off, but then they'll come and help. I mean, they're just trying to help, so they don't know, and then or you'll get like bots in there, people not knowing what they're doing, and so sometimes it can be a little challenging getting some of the contracts done. So if you had trouble going the first time, it's like, God, do I really want to do all that again? So, but I will agree, it is getting like I think with those types of games, it is getting repetitive. But I think if you do play with friends and stuff, it's not as repetitive because at least you guys are talking and stuff. But if you're just playing by yourself and with um random people, then it's just kind of it gets that repetitiveness real quick.
Wouldn't you think that like one of the major patch updates they could do that wouldn't be that hard would have been once you prestige, you have new contracts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be the same ones. It should be newer, and hopefully not much more difficult because they
Right,
work pretty
yeah.
hard as it stands, but just new ones that you're working on. Um,
Yeah, I agree on that. And then, but like I said, also hope I was really hoping like with this patch. I mean, I know they did like it's supposed to be quality of life. When I played last night just to see how it was, I just felt like for some reason I got in a match where like the ghosts were. It still feels like they were way overpowered. Like it seems like the patches have like kind of gave more power to the ghosts now, and you're like, I know like the PKE like stun is shorter now, and
It
like
is shorter. I noticed that.
yes, I like stunned like a ghost, and before I could even get like my trap out or get a tether on him, like he was already unstunned and just going about his day. So
They figured out that we were just like. I even talked to Eugene Stevens, leader of the Austin Ghostbuster team. He and we were talking to each other about the game, and we both were talking about how if you just aim your trap right, once you stun them, you don't have to actually tether them.
oh
Like
no,
the
yeah,
trap opens on them, and if you have them against like a wall or something like that, then it's even easier to just throw
yeah,
the trap and catch them. So like, yeah, they're trying to fix it by giving the ghost shorter time because they probably
right.
figured that a lot of players were just getting caught like that.
Yeah. So I could see that being like on the deal, like shorten that stun. But yeah, like you said, I mean, I've even did it where before the update you stun and throw that trap right out, and as soon as it opens, you can just suck them right into the trap. But like it seemed last night they like the ghost for some reason, I don't know if it was just a way upgraded ghost that a couple of hits and I was already fully slimed and down on the ground. So yeah, like he like gave me a 2-piece and a biscuit, and I was done. So like, like
oh, that's hilarious. Well,
uh,
that's awesome. How's the stream going, bud? Are you growing?
yeah, been growing on that. Reached 30 subscribers a couple of weeks ago, so that was a really big deal, and like have over 100 followers now. So it's been pretty awesome getting that going. I was streaming earlier tonight, but I kind of had to cut it short, but no biggie. So, but
But
yeah,
no biggie.
no biggie.
And for everybody in there, I'm throwing the link into the chat if you guys want to
Oh,
follow
nice.
Justin. He's got a
Yeah.
big following going on. Actually, I'm going to shoot it to Ted to throw it into the chat.
Um.
He's growing his channel every day, and he plays Ghostbusters Spirits
Oh.
Unleashed with members of his team. And I've been on there a few times, so
Yeah. I switched it to singular. The name's singular. Sorry, on the link.
oh, I shared OKC Ghostbusters. You switched it on us?
Yeah, I switched it on you. Sorry.
What is it? What is it now?
It's
Are you,
just
are you
dropped
getting
it.
too big? Are you?
Yeah,
Are you?
just drop the yeah. It's just on the S. It's just OKC Ghostbuster. So
Okay.
yeah,
OKC Ghost.
He's flying solo.
flying solo.
It's like when Justin left NSYNC. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I still play with the other guys. We do a variety of other games. I do Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. We'll do Rocket League. Done sometimes Fortnite. My wife really likes Fortnite, so I'll have her guest star on there. We'll do it both together, and some other games. I tried this new game today. It's called High on Life. It's by the same guys that did Rick, one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And that game is if you have a stream that's family friendly, don't play that game on there. So
It is bonkers.
it is. Have you played it?
I've my son just recently played it, and yeah, I'm just like, bro, what is this game?
Oh yeah, it's bananas, like just from the beginning, because it starts off, you're playing like it looks like an old school 90s first person like Doom-esque kind of Wolfenstein, and then it goes off the rails from there. So but yeah,
It's nuts.
so like I said, we get members. I'll have members from our group on there as well. We'll play, and if I can't get anybody to play on there, we'll be like, they'll be in the chat as well too. So but yeah, just check it out. I'll actually be streaming tomorrow night, 7:30 Central Standard Time.
Awesome.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Well, the link
Uh,
is in the chat, updated.
Yeah.
So check that out and give them a follow if you're interested in checking any of that out. We definitely appreciate you, Justin, for hopping on with us real quick. We needed
Yeah,
an
no problem.
expert opinion.
Yeah, no problem. Like I saw about the shooting out of the ecto. Like I keep I have a there's one of our regulars on there, and her son watches it too on there. Like for the most part, we keep it pretty PG-13, sometimes. And so but her son got on there and he always kept asking questions about the ecto. And then when the new patch came out, one of the questions, he's like, "Can you get in the ecto now?" And I was like, "No, the keys are still locked inside the car right now, so you can't get in." But that would be cool if like I said, with a mini game where you could do like some kind of a gunner, like either gunner seat or some kind of little mini game. I just wanted to share. I just saw that. It's true. Is that too
wouldn't
much
wanna
to
do
ask?
that?
We'll just go to the tattoo shop and get them all tatted up.
Right.
There you go. There you go. One of the greatest scenes ever. That would be cool. It doesn't feel like it would be a future game mechanic,
Right.
but potentially not like a game or something. It, as bad as it kind of feels to say this, just a side mission where you drive the ecto around a few blocks, I
Yeah.
think would like appease half the fan base.
Oh yeah.
Trying to add a whole new game mechanic that they haven't
Oh, yeah.
really nothing is close to that, maneuvering a vehicle. There's nothing else really related to that right now.
Mhm.
So it
Yeah,
feels
like
like it's too far of a stretch to ask for that, but at least
And
maybe sitting around it or just driving it around a few blocks or something like that would be kind
yeah,
of cool.
just make it linear. Like if it was just on a track, like if it, they just made it where it just had to make it look like it was moving. You didn't steer or anything. All you had to do was just aim, kind of deal.
But even if you could like drive it, that's cool.
Yeah.
But Arkham went way overboard with it, and like it seemed like in order to complete like every mission, you had to do something in the Batmobile, and it was
Right.
just like the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So we don't want it. We don't want it to go that far.
No, the beer run patch.
The beer run.
Yeah,
We're
there you go.
not asking for a
Miller
lot.
time. Yeah.
I'm
It's
telling you.
Miller time.
Or like, I mean, because I know we had some, guys in our group talk about this, about, like not necessarily this game, but if they did for a future Ghostbusters game, like, that pretty much a GTA, version of New York City, where, I mean, you would drive the Ecto, and you don't have to necessarily use the Ecto to do like challenges, but it would be your, means of transportation to get around the city. You could turn on the sirens and then go to the busts, kind of like an open world. And I think that's what, hopefully it's leading up to that, but like,
we got to get there. We have
right. I mean, it's not far fetched. I mean, I think they've done mods. I've seen people do certain mods in Grand
GTA,
Theft Auto, and GTA. So, but but they do need to do the beer run patch update on there.
That's somebody go get some beer.
Yeah.
The Miller time patch update. That's what
That's
we're
right.
going to call it. That would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
GBA
yeah.
instead of GTA.
GBA. Well, GBA.
Yeah, that's GBA 4, San Andreas.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Grand Bust Auto.
There has to be a few coders like in chapters across the country. Let's just start. We'll start real small. Be a GoFundMe. We'll build from the bottom and
just get on the ground floor and go. Yeah. It was a game made by the fans for the fans. Awesome.
So, Justin, you're a Prestige 3 by now, I guess is what I heard. Yeah,
not yet. Like with I'm almost close to. Actually, I know it sounds when I know you have me on here, but I'm almost close to the first Prestige.
Nice.
But like with work and all that and stuff like that, I hadn't been able to play a whole lot. So,
well, it's still a long way to go. I mean, it takes a long time to get.
It does. It takes forever to get there, and so I know it's been a lot. Some of our guys haven't been playing as well. Like it's been hard kind of getting everybody. And I know I need to get you two on and we need to play as well. So
I was sending you updates, Matt, last night for whatever reason. It was like 1 a.m. and it said you were online. I'm like, there's no way he's awake right now.
Well, I have the mobile app on my phone, so sometimes
that's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm active when I'm not actually signed in.
Rust City. Absolutely.
GBA
Eugene,
Rust City.
GBA Rest City. Eugene Stevens, Austin leader. He's a level 95. That's the
95,
most
nice.
that I've seen.
Yeah,
And he looked at me with disappointment that he was only at 95. I was
95.
like, come on, man, that's like
That's pretty high.
insane.
Actually, so last night I saw someone, I guess they had prestiged in one of the matches I played. He had a guy had the colander hat. He had the colander hat on. So
Wow.
That's cool.
yeah. So I was like, oh wow. And it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks like they have the chin strap, like it's hanging off and stuff like that, but it's got all the wires and resistors and stuff on it. Like I was trying to like watch him, but he was like running around. So like I was just trying to chase him down like half the match. I wanted to say like, dude, stop! I want to see your helmet.
Let me look at you.
Yeah, let me look at you. Not being weird or anything.
we all did that when we first signed into the game too.
Oh yeah.
When you first signed into your friends in the Firehouse, you start looking up their proton pack. All right, let me check out your outfit.
Well, that was like when everybody was like trying to make themselves. I think you were on that stream when we first. One of our guys looked like Bobby Hill coming into the bus. I couldn't stop laughing.
He looked just like Bobby Hill.
Yeah, I was like, the boy ain't right.
Yeah.
God damn it, Bobby.
Oh. We sell butane tanks and regulators. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I think that's all we need you for, though, buddy.
Oh well, thanks for having me on the giving you a little update on my thoughts.
Yeah. I was running out of lifeline, so I had to phone a friend.
Hey, that's okay. You know, I happen to be right. I happen to be right by the computer. So
awesome, brother. Well, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.
Cool.
The legend. Justin Wright.
He's awesome. But I think we covered it, didn't we?
We did it. For those of you who either you're just joining or you missed the start of the show, which had a fantastic intro. We've been talking about the Ghostbusters Toy Drive. Week 2 just completed today, and it's been tremendous. If you didn't catch it earlier, let's do it one more time, shall we?
Yeah.
4,400 toys through 2 weeks, and almost $9,000 in money raised by these chapters. And we're not done. We still got 1 week left. If you're watching and you're with a chapter and you have events coming up, send us the flyers. Share the flyers. Share it to Ghostheads. Share it to Geekcast. Share it to Ghostbusters franchises. Share it to other Ghostbuster groups. Like, it needs to spread, and Ghostbuster fans need to spread it as much as possible. I think that we can make one solid push and get this to 5,000 toys and $10,000. I don't think that's too much of an ask. I think it's possible. I'm already happy with this, but like, let's go for the victory lap. Let's put the icing on the cake. Let's put the cherry on top.
5 in toys. And this is the week of extra giving. So everyone who wasn't giving earlier wanted to make sure they bought their own gifts. Maybe they were holding off to make sure they had enough money to get their immediate family what they needed. This next week might actually be the most important. So if you've already done your drive and you still want to be involved, maybe just give that local business a call, give that local comic book shop a call and say, hey, do you mind if we just set up outside? We'll throw a box outside and see what we can do. Go for it. There's no reason not to. So let's just get it done. I think 10,000 and 5,000 would be a great first kickoff to the Ghostheads being involved with this toy drive, and then we can just double that next year. We have so much more time.
As Justin's already saying, the worst they can say is no. But when you tell them what you're doing, what you're here for, who you're trying to help, it gives them a huge incentive to say yes. Five Belows are the go-to. They've been very accommodating for a lot of teams collecting. We are one of them. Last year, luckily, my comic shop that I shop at is like 2 doors down from a Five Below. And if somebody doesn't feel comfortable enough buying toys at a comic shop, for whatever reason, some people are intimidated by comic shops, they go to Five Below and they pick up 2 or 3 items, bring it back, and and they're not breaking the bank. And Five Below has some really cool stuff. They got Star Wars toys. They got
Five
Transformers.
Below is the ultimate cheap store place. They have
Yeah.
some really quality toys for the
They got
price.
They got Avengers like
Yeah.
costumes and like weapons for kids.
And when I say cheap, I don't mean
Cheaply
crappy.
made.
I
Yeah.
mean inexpensive. They have very inexpensive, good toys, and I think it's a great idea. So somebody will say yes, I guarantee you, because they're going to be these business owners are going to be like, oh, nobody's coming in. It's Christmas, blah blah blah. Even if it's a local restaurant, even if it's a local bar, even if it's a local comic book shop, it really doesn't. A church, it doesn't matter what it is. They'll be like, yeah, okay, cool. Bring us people in here. That sounds good to me.
Absolutely. I would also say if you don't have a name for your event, if you're collecting toys and if you want to catch a name, fill the Ecto. A lot of teams are having fill the Ecto events, and that tells you a lot of things. It tells you you're having a toy drive, you have high expectations, and you're gonna have an Ecto on site.
Yeah, it
And
sums everything up real nice.
that sums everything up. Yeah, get out there, call it the Fill the Ecto event. I think we're gonna do one too, the final weekend. Just because we want to go out with a bang. So yeah, probably have a Fill the Ecto event, maybe Sunday if possible, and just pop open the back door of the Ecto mobile and say throw everything in as much as you can. Some of the photos that we've been sharing from like last weekend, their Fill the Ecto events could barely close the doors, or because they were afraid of things getting smashed, or like when they opened the door of toys falling out. They were just so packed in, and that's incredible. Justin says, yeah, Five Belows. They even have some Ghostbuster stuff occasionally. I have a lanyard from there. They're fantastic. If you know of a restaurant chain, or if you know of an activity center, like the Lansing team is going to what sounds like a trampoline park, and the trampoline park is donating a percentage of the admission sales.
Quarter, 25%.
25% is massive. I mean, they're probably charging 10 to $20 a kid just to go in and partake in the activities. So if you can find a location, either a small restaurant, activity center, that they will donate a portion of the proceeds to your charity, you could take those funds and go purchase toys with them, or you could just take those funds and donate them to the organization that you're supporting, and it's the same thing. You're helping, you're creating support for a good cause in your community. So there is no wrong answer here. There's only do or do not. There is no try.
All right, Master Yoda.
Yeah, there you go. Justin says, yeah, they were having a hard time keeping the toys from falling out of yours. Yes, those are the photos. Your photos are one of the ones I'm talking about. Just tremendous. Thank you, everybody, for your hard work, all your efforts through 2 weeks. It is the Ghostbusters 2022 Toy Drive. We're not done. We're not done by a long shot. We got one more week of solid collecting, funds raising, 40 chapters, all working as one. You guys have been awesome. We love the discussions. We love the photos, the videos, um, all the just the good that you guys are doing. It's been all worth it so far, and we're not done, not even close. Um, Last thing I want to say is our finale stream will be next Wednesday, December 21st. Let's just shoot for 8:30. Sorry, no, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. That's right.
8
9
o'clock.
Eastern, 6 Pacific. Yeah, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is where we're at. But our finale stream, our final totals for everything. Um, can't wait to see where we end up. I think it's going to be fantastic. Again, thank you to everybody. It's been a tremendous effort. Sacramento says, let's finish strong. Yeah, baby. That's what we're talking about. Awesome. Maddie B, anything else you want to say, man?
No, not at all. I really appreciate everyone for hopping on. Um, it's something we didn't think we had the ability to push it this far. I know I talk about lofty goals and these sorts of things, but this is so far beyond anything that I thought that it was going to be. And I'm just so happy for everybody. And I think that 10,000, 5,000 goal is great. 10,000 cash, 5,000 toys. If we get there, I'm as happy as can be. And then we can keep pushing. And don't forget the teaser mentioned earlier. This doesn't stop now. We're going to immediately gear into what I think might be an awesome school supply drive.
We definitely have some ideas for multiple things. We talked about school supply drive last week. I would also like a national food drive. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I think that's something that a lot of us are already accustomed to, and a lot of us have resources already. We Some of us have done food drives. You can lean on those teams to kind of help give you advice. What to look for, what to ask for, best practices. It's weird saying all these things. I feel like I'm at work, but it's completely different because like I'm all in it and you guys are all in it, and like it's completely different than like saying we're doing a charity thing for work. Last time I did a charity thing for work, I was stuck in a warehouse, like reorganizing canned pasta or like
Yeah.
cans of pickles. Like, I understand this is helping somebody, but I don't feel like I'm doing a lot of good organizing pickles by like due dates. And I feel like
Yeah.
there's a whole lot that we can do, and we're all very excited about it. So let's do it.
Yeah, and there's a lot that you know makes sense about that when it comes to best practices, though, and that does sound like work. But Ghostbusters, we are franchises, and it does take a little bit of work, and there are best practices. And finding something like a food drive, a school supply drive, a Christmas drive, we've already taken care of 3 of the 4 quarters. If your group is doing one thing every quarter to raise something, your franchise will not only grow in popularity in your community, but it'll grow amongst respect to the business owners in the community, which open up opportunities, which eventually lead to, this being a lot easier in the future. One thing a quarter, if you think about it, we do a food drive January, and then next quarter we do a school supply drive, and then after that, we're looking to kind of maybe gear up for something, maybe for Halloween, and then we kick it right into a Christmas event. So, I think it's totally possible. So my business brain is working, so I'm going to shut up.
Food drive, supply drive, always a holiday drive, and then anything else. If you guys have ideas, something that we could all get behind, something that would really, just be a tremendous cause that we can all support. Or maybe we just take like the summer off. That way we could enjoy FanFest. Ivan says yes. Give Eric free school supplies drive. Yes, great cause.
Yes.
Awesome. Tremendous. Thanks to everybody who joined us. Thank you to everybody thanks to everybody who's been a part of this. We're not done yet. We're going to finish strong. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much. Join us again next week on Ghostheads Radio for our finale stream. We'll have more teams to talk to. We'll have final totals, final tallies for toys and dollars collected. We're so excited. Thank you for being here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. General Kenobi getting here late. We're about to drop off, brother, but it's good to see
Start
you.
back over from the beginning, General.
Start
See
back
you.
over. And thank you to your toys, General Kenobi, who donated like a box of toys to our drive here in San Antonio. He's tremendous. Go check out his Star Wars channel. If you're a Star Wars fan, you know you are. For the Ghost Heads Radio Show, my name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, the one and only Maddie B.
I'm telling you, it was a double can night, boys. We did a really great job tonight, and I'm going to go to bed a lot easier now. So I appreciate you all for sticking around as long as you have, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good night, everybody. Peace.